Gani Fawemi's son and Kinjibe. We're going to look at that one because when that election was held, it was held between late MK Abiola with Tofa. And we saw the need for a change in this country. We saw the people ready for a change in this country. But it didn't happen. And now President Muhammadu Buhari has decided to say, hey, we need to give this man Dole award. So we're going to look at the views. And counter reaction took place on Wednesday when this was announced. Some people felt, well, it's not supposed to be given an award. Some people felt there are things you need to do. There are processes you must follow. And some other people applauded that fact that someone had decided to do that. So the lines will be open during this period. We'll be discussing this topic this morning for you to call and make your contributions. Of course, we will also review the papers this morning and open the phone lines. You can call us and make your contributions, but please, let's try to manage our emotions, not to use the wrong choice of words. Once again, good morning to you. We'll go on this break. When we come back, we're taking the newspaper review segment. Stay with us.
SuperDawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.
Welcome back. It's the newspaper review segment, and we want to look at the Punch newspaper this morning. 2019, Southerners, Middle Belt leaders demand INEC chairs removal. We'll take that story. The Southern and the Middle Belt Leaders Forum has expressed fear that the Independent National Electoral Commission may not deliver free and fair elections in 2019. It noted that the bug of nepotism and sectionalism that this administration is renewed has also been eating up the leadership of the commission. The forum demanded the removal of the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, noting that there were accumulated indications that he might rig the election in favor of President Muhammadu Buhari. We also have in the papers this morning, and it says, states raise domestic debts by 1.64 trillion in 3 years. Okay, I'll take this. Again, he said, Fayemi challenges Fayoshe to open debate on Ekiti finances. Fayemi challenges Fayoshe to open debate on Ekiti finances. I think we also need to take that story. The governorship candidate of the All Progressive Congress Ekiti State, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, has challenged Governor Ayodele Fayoshe to a public debate on how the two of them can run Ekiti finances in office. Fayemi said the 800-page handover note he personally gave to Fayoshe when he assumed office contained how the finances he received while in office were managed. So he said, yes, come and let's have this in a debate. 1.1 billion water contract scam. Prosecutes Deputy Speaker, says Seraph. Human rights advocacy group, the Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project, has called for the prosecution of the Deputy Speaker of the House, of Representative Lasum Yusuf over the allegation of 1.1 billion water contract scam. Saraf, in a statement on Sunday by its Deputy Director, Anthony Adewale, urged the acting chairman of both of Code of Conduct Bureau and the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission to jointly investigate the alleged fraud committed by Yusuf. We have this APC convention over 179 jostles for 43 NWC position. It's in the Punch. And finally, we take this in the Punch. Reggae artist Raskimono dies at 60. Moving away from the Punch this morning, we'll take some stories in the New Telegraph. And it says here, 4 ex-governors, 175 aspirant battle to lead APC. Very interesting. And the writer says, Oshomole, Osubo, Ibrahim, Ogun for Oyegun State. Everybody want to take 175 people for just one seat. This is very, very interesting. Well, ahead of the June 23rd National Convention of the All Progressive Congress, APC, for 4 former governors and 175 aspirants are jostling for various positions in the party's National Working Committee. The 179 aspirants are in fairness battle to take over the control of the ruling party at the national and zonal levels. 3 of the former governors are jostling to succeed Chief John Oyegun as the national chairman, while 4 ex-governors is angling for the deputy national chairmanship of the APC. Everybody just want to be the chair and the deputy. Tinubu hope poverty eradication our next crusade. The national leader of the All Progressive Congress, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has asked Nigerians to adopt hope and farewell to poverty as the next crucial crusade in the country. He said, in so doing, Nigerians would end up immortalizing what the winner of the June 12, 1993 presidential election, the late Chief M.K. Abiola, stood for. And I think that's what we should be looking at. That's what we should be going for. We should look at what he stands for. Because during the course of today's topic we're going to treat, I'm going to tell you some of his quotes, and they are so fantastic. Still in the papers this morning, PDP to Buhari apologized for 1983 coup. And the writer says, APC, your members should apologize first. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, has asked President Muhammadu Buhari to apologize to Nigerians for staging a coup that destroyed the country's democratic governance in December 31, 1983. The party regretted that Buhari's disruption of democracy rules set the stage for a long despotic military rule for which Chief M.K. Abiola, his wife Kudirat, and other democratic matra paid the supreme sacrifice to restore. PDP, in a statement yesterday by its National Publicity Secretary, Kola Ogundiyan, said Buhari cannot become a Democrat overnight simply because he bestowed a posthumous national award on the acclaimed winner of June 12, 1993 presidential election, Chief M.K. Abiola. The party stated it was not against any honor done by the nation to the memory of late Chief M.K. Abiola, but President Muhammadu Buhari should not use such to pose as a Democrat. Well, counter reactions, really. Nigerians' elite conspired to stop Abiola presidency. The presidency has blamed the annulment of the June 12, 1993 presidential election on the great conspiracy by Nigerians' elite who were bent on stopping the presumed winner, Chief M.K. Abiola, from taking over the leadership of the country. Well, I don't know. There's lots of stories coming in. NSIA's profit drops by 107 billion. And the writer says no dividends for federal government, federal capital states and local government. Get hold of the News Telegraph, and you can read more stuff. But I'll take this one, and it says, NAS protests. Group accuses CSOs of blackmailing Saraki. Oh, well, we'll still take more stories. Let's take a look at the Daily Trust, what the Daily Trust is saying this morning. With 222 bills in 3 years, senators, reps gulf 159 billion. The 109 senators and 360 members of the House of Representatives have passed a total of 222 bills in the last 3 years after pocketing 159.1 billion as monthly salaries and allowances, Daily Trust reports. The 222 bills passed by the lawmakers were out of the total 2,153 bills introduced in both chambers within the 3 years period. Over 20 of the bills passed by the two chambers were signed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari. You want to know the arithmetic, you need to get the Daily Trust. Presidency, those behind June 12 annulment angry with Buhari. From the presidency, well, if you are angry for wanting to confer that award from the presidency, says you are behind the annulment of June 12. The presidency said those united by annulment of the 1993 presidential election are angry with President Muhammadu Buhari for righting the wrong that nourished them. The senior special assistant to the president on media publicity, Malam Garba Shehu, said this yesterday in an article titled June 12, Tsunami and the Ones Who Won't Forgive Buhari. He said among those who were men and women in the Temple of Justice who used one refused or the other to keep June 12 buried and is the biggest symbol, the presumed winner of the election, MKO Abiola, in detention until the end, was induced. Shehu said those who were after what would have happened to them since Buhari declared June 12 a national public holiday and honored the heroes of the 1993 presidential election. He said it was pretty obvious that the unjust annulment was a huge conspiracy. Well, I don't know your thoughts on that, but you can call us this morning to tell us your thoughts on that. We're ready. From the minister, said poor funding hampers tuberculosis control. Cleric tax government on insecurity. And in the papers you get this, 18 Nigerians commit suicide in 13 months. Man jumped into lagoon. Well, yesterday it was all over everywhere, where a man actually left his car and just jumped into the Third Milan Lagoon. I don't know what will make you really, I think we should begin to look at the causes, even as government, as people, as a people. Why will someone just jump? He might be frustrated. Then how do we handle such? How do we rehabilitate people? How are we to people when they're going down? Are you one of those that, well, you take advantage and insult people anyhow? You just talk anyhow without control. This can lead people to do a lot of things. I'm not saying it is right to just jump into the sea, but we should begin to look at the causes. It is getting too many. But I think I need to read this. An unidentified man has parked his car suddenly on the popular Third Mainland Bridge in Lagos and jumped into the lagoon. Pictures of the car, a black Ford Jeep, is currently trending on the social media for possible clue into the owner of the car who allegedly jumped into the lagoon. It was learned that the emergency officials in the state were notified of the incident on Sunday evening and rescue efforts were immediately activated. Well, it's so sad. It's so sad. When I heard the news yesterday, I felt really bad. But we'll also take this: 80 Nigerians commit suicide in 13 months. And there is a surging trend of Nigerians committing suicide, with about 80 killed in the last 13 months, according to reported incidents allocated by Daily Trust. The 79 people that committed suicide between April 2017 and May 12 this year, according to the data obtained by Daily Trust from the content analysis of Nigerian newspapers. Majority of the reasons given for the reported suicide range from financial difficulties, marital problems, academic challenges, among others. Lagos State lead the pack with 14 reported cases within the period under review. I think one of these days we're going to take time to look at this. We're going to take our time to look at it. What are the causes? How can you cancel someone going through a lot? Why are people not talking if you're going through a lot? And some people, you know, we need to begin to change our attitude. If someone is going through a lot of things, you shouldn't be one of those that will push the person. You know, sometimes people don't know how to talk. They're angry and they just drop all sorts of words. They don't know the effect of those words. These are more, well, one of these days, not to worry, we're going to look into that. We have this away from the Daily Trust. We take some of it from the Vanguard this morning. June 12, how military, elites, judges conspired against Abiola from presidency. And the writer says money bag sponsored the annulment. The presidency said yesterday that the annulment of June 12, 1993 election, said to have been won by Chief MK Abiola, was a conspiracy carried out by military officers, judges, and money bags. The presidency also stated that some top retired military generals were not left out in this matter. Well, this is a very heavy allegation, and I hope that hey, we'll get more from that. The presidency's statement drew the immediate reaction of the Afenifere chieftain, Ayo Adebajo, former Secretary of the Government of the Federation, SGF, Chief Olufalaye, and former Secretary General of the National Union of Petroleum and National Gas Workers, NUPENG, Chief Frank Kokori. While Adebajo challenged the presidency to name the elites who were involved in this conspiracy, Chief Falaye said it must provide proof to back up its claims. Kokori said the presidency was right in its assertion. Speaking through the senior special assistant to the governor of media and publicity, Malam Garba Shehu, the presidency said those that played role towards annulment of the election have expressed anger over the decision of President Muhammadu Buhari to acknowledge Chief MK Abiola and his running mate, Alhaji Babangana KGB, with national award. Still in the papers, we're waiting for Buhari, APC call of bluff, NPDP. So they are waiting for Buhari. But we need to also take that particular one, the NPDP and the PDP itself. Well, I really want to understand how this is going. But I read this. Senator Bukola Saraki led the New People's Democratic Party, the NPDP tendency in All Progressive Congress, APC, has said it was waiting for President Muhammadu Buhari and the ruling party to call off its bluff for it to take a decision. The nominal chairman of the group, Alhaji Kawo Baraje, had in an interview weekend said the group is, however, committed to remaining within the party, but under acceptable conditions. The NPDP comprises of the Senate, the President of the Senate, Saraki, Speaker Dogora, and at least 2 governors and more than 20 senators, amongst others, had walked out of the negotiation with the party following the police invitation to Senator Saraki, which the group said was demonstration of bad faith on the part of APC. Well, we also have this one, and it says, issues of interest to voters led to PDP's defeat in 2015, polls report. OBJ, IBB, Jonathan, others not enemies of Nigeria, Fani Kayode. SS crude, $82.3 billion, still unaccounted for. Well, we're going to end this by taking this last one. Let's just take one of it, and it says here, on June 12th, Oshoba, we were unborn and on our way back to Lagos when the pilot told us that something had happened about the election and the result had been stopped. So confused. Some said we should not come to Lagos. Some said we should go to Akure. And some said Ibadan. But Abiola insisted. He fought for June 12. Well, we will end this segment with that, and we'll go on a break. When we come back, we want to look at the views and perspective of the Posthumous Award. We'll be right back.
Ginger is a very popular spice that is used widely in cooking and can be processed in a variety of ways. It has quite a unique flavor and is an ingredient used in many savory foods. It also has long been used as a remedy for various ailments, whether alone or in conjunction with other herbs and spices. And researchers continue to show just how effective it can really be. Ginger has several benefits as it contains a compound known as 6-gingerol. The compound has so far shown that it might be able to slow or even stop cancer cell growth in prostate, pancreatic, and ovarian cancer. If abnormal or damaged cells are able to start growing out of control, then a cancer may occur. An early test indicates that ginger could hold the key to the treatment. The good news for nausea sufferers is that ginger has been shown to be quite effective at relieving the symptoms. Nausea can be very unpleasant symptoms and can have a variety of causes. Ginger has long been used by sailors as a remedy for seasickness and can also help patients recover through nausea symptoms after surgical operations. Many people have difficulty controlling their blood sugar level. If there's too much sugar in the blood, very serious complications can occur. Studies have shown that consuming just 2 grams of ginger powder every day can reduce blood sugar levels by 12%. It can also make improvements of around 10% in the long term. It also has a positive effect on oxidized lipoprotein, which can have a significant effect on heart diseases. Menstruation can be quite an unpleasant experience for many women, with some suffering painful cramps and headaches every cycle. Pain during menstruation is known as dysmenorrhea and is a very common problem. Studies have shown that just a single gram of ginger a day can be enough to reduce both the duration of pain and their intensity. Every day we use our joints, and this results in wear and tear. Over time, this can result in a condition known as osteoarthritis, which is a fairly common ailment amongst older people. It can be very painful and can lead people to be unable to use their joints effectively. Studies have shown, though, that symptoms from osteoarthritis can be reduced with the help from ginger. Infections can really be quite unpleasant, and they can also be very easy to pick up. Though there are treatments available, it would clearly be not to get an infection, but ginger could help. Ginger contains a substance known as gingerol, and studies have shown it to be very effective in combating infections such as bacterial infections, viral infections, and some fungal infections. Stomach ulcers are painful lesions that are found on the stomach's internal lining. They are caused by a lack of protective mucus that protects the stomach's internal lining, allowing the lining to be harmed by stomach's digestive enzymes. Stomach ulcers are less likely to occur among people that consume ginger powder. One study shows that ginger can be effective at helping to prevent aspirin-induced stomach ulcers, in particular by blocking the activity of the enzymes responsible. One of the main causes of indigestion is a delayed emptying of the stomach, while an inability to digest as effectively as usual is also a common cause. Tests have shown, however, that ginger is able to speed up the emptying of food from stomach, which helps to prevent indigestion. Heart disease and high cholesterol levels are very closely linked. High cholesterol levels can lead to the buildup of cholesterol in the arteries, potentially blocking them. This can be and often is fatal. The cholesterol that is responsible for heart disease is known as LDL. A study was undertaken on people with a high level of cholesterol, which showed that in 45 days, 3 grams of ginger powder a day caused a considerable reduction in the cholesterol levels. Another study in rats shows that ginger was able to reduce cholesterol levels as effectively as atorvastatin, which is a drug used for this purpose. Oxidation causes stress in the body and helps to cause it to age over time. All parts of the body are affected, including the brain, and this leads to complications in later life. Ginger has antioxidant properties that helps to protect the brain from oxidative stress, helping to prevent complications such as Alzheimer's and dementia.
Welcome back. We want to look at the views and perspectives of the Posthumous Award. Well, these have generated a lot of controversies. Some people have said that this award shouldn't have been at this time. Why is it coming at this time? Some people had applauded the president for taking this initiative. At least someone is coming to say you actually won. And some people are saying no, it's because of politics. Election come 2019. We have a guest in the studio this morning. We have Dr. Patrick Chukwu. He's the chairman, International Freight Forwarders. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Vera.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you. Pleasure to meet you today.
Good to see you.
Thank you very much.
Doctor, looking at June 12 from the onset when it was annulled, what are your thoughts during that period?
Anyway, I think I must commend you for bringing me to this program, because anybody who witnessed what happens during that time should equally know that some people are enemy to this country's progress. And of course, until we start doing the right thing at the right time, then things will start moving. When you talk of corruption, people are fighting for corruption in the other way. That I see it as maybe witch hunting and or whatnot. Leaving the cabal that are the main corrupt elements within them in Nigeria today. I think that annulment is worse than, is the highest level of gross corruption Nigeria is supposed to have started fighting when Buhari emerged. But Buhari has done what he has done. He did it. It's a good thing, taken in the wrong step. Post-mortem award or whatever is not what Nigeria needs for now. What Nigeria needs for now, if I'm telling you, the youths are languishing. There's no food in this country. Nothing is working. Remember, Buhari promised, I was here, and that is why you don't see me in television and all these things again. Everywhere, channel, everywhere I used to be there. You can hear me when I was visiting every week I'm here. But I get fed up when you see a lot of people, you are talking every day and nothing is being seen positively done.
So, Doctor, let me chip in here. Do you think with this announcement made by the president, it's coming at the wrong time?
I said is doing the right thing with wrong step. He didn't carry the people along. What parameter can he use now to say, you are deciding on Nigerian Democracy Day? You alone.
No, is it not symbolic of democracy in Nigeria, the content? Is it not symbolic?
Why is it symbolic?
Compared to May 29?
No, let us agree. We cannot politicize Nigerians' rights by maybe because I'm president. What if another person is president tomorrow? And then remove what you have done. As I have seen it, some streets are being removed, name, and change it to another name. Some notable dates are being removed, change it to another date. It's not good. What we are doing today should be something memorable. Before you get anything memorable, stamping that date, all other things across to that has happened must be properly addressed before coming to announcement. That announcement to me is quite wrong. Only that, am I going to change a president prerogative of powers? I am not going to do that.
But some people applauded this, saying that
the people are applauding him. Why now? Why now? Why now? Somebody who is a dictator.
Why not now?
A coup plotter and a coup successor. Oh my God. Where were he when a lot of lives were taken? I think I was present. Many people, I took my family home then. A lot of people died in the process of running for June 12th. A lot of things happened. What are you going to do to those ones? What compensation are you going to give those ones? If Abiola really, the annual election of MKO, who annulled it? Who propagated the annulment? Who are behind the annulment? There are a lot of questions Buhari should come to open, to answer Nigerians why he can rise up in a night of the next day and I do announcement. No consultation.
But when you know a man truly won an election and was deprived, it was annulled, don't you think we need to go back to the drawing table to correct the wrongs?
Yeah, are you correcting the wrongs alone? That's the question Nigeria is asking. Are you correcting the wrongs alone? Who has wronged and who is right and who has already perpetrated that wrong?
So how would the president, in this case now, who are the certain people the president needs to carry along?
He would have carried the arms of government around with even the people, with the public.
As when the announcement declaration was made, the Senate and the National Assembly commended the president for...
Not everybody.
Some of them.
It's not everybody.
Some of them did.
Some argued over it.
But as it is now, see if some part of them can support him, it shows that...
Some, check the number. How many? We have 700 or something in the House of Representatives.
But you saw,
Senate.
Doctor, you saw where Social Democratic Party won the National Republic Party convention. You saw how Abiola won this award. You saw how he was deprived of his rights, and you saw how he fought for his rights. Are you saying we should just put it aside?
MKO is my good friend. MKO, when I was working in the airport, he used my barrel after writing, invited me to the office to give me a job. Then to change me from where I was working to his own electrical edison. Just there at Yaba. I told him I cannot work here, but I have a brother who graduated at UNN. I have a good job already doing. Please, if you can employ that, my brother is okay for me. That brother, Abiola employed that brother and took him to US.
I'm going to hold you on there briefly. There's a call line.
Hello, good morning to you. I don't have any issue.
Good morning to you.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. We can hear you.
Go ahead.
Yes, we can. Good morning.
Good. I'm happy about what people are discussing. That is why I want to stick something in.
Okay.
You see, we are being taken for a fool in this country. And it's very bad. That man came the first time to Nigeria, went away with huge amounts of money. And today he says he's fighting corruption. If he wants to fight corruption, he should start from himself, to arrest himself. From him to Tinubu, then we know he's fighting corruption. Him himself that is there is corruption now. And he wants to force us to vote for him this 2019. It's only God that will remove that idiot from there. Thank you very much.
Okay, but those are your words anyway, not ours. Those are your thoughts and not ours. Yes, but looking at what happened, a senior lawyer, human rights advocate, Femi Falana, has supported this. He has said, no, I'm going to allow you, that Buhari did not contravene the law.
Listen to me, please.
President Buhari didn't contravene the law.
Excuse me, Vera. Let's forget about politics this time. Anything touches eye, touches nose and mouth. You understand? This country, the elites are the major breakdown of law and order in this country.
So are you saying the presidency are right about what they said?
Falana, that I listened to him very well in the night when he was speaking. I listened to him very well. Any of his edition I used to listen, just as he might be listening to my end. For you to be senior advocate does not mean you are the only senior advocate we have in Nigeria. For you to be a senior advocate does not mean that you are the only best Nigerian students of law. Let's get things clear. I have my fundamental right to stand upon. You have your own fundamental rights. He traveled overseas, I traveled overseas.
Okay, I'm going to hold you on there. There's another person. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, my contribution is that now that the presidency has discovered that Abiola won the election, and according to the law of this nation, if the election is concluded before the person that won the election died, that the deputy will take over. Now that the vice president that contested that election with Abiola is alive, if the president Buhari actually meant what he said, why not step down for King Gibe to take over, so that it will show transparency and that he really was not acting out of politics. Thank you.
Thank you. Remember that King Gibe, Babagana King Gibe, worked with that party, the Abacha regime. Remember that he took an appointment there. So can he also take over?
Of course.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. We're waiting for the legal. We're waiting for a lawyer to clarify that, because they have different views.
We're not even waiting for a lawyer. Okay, but we know that the law is very strict. The law is very strict.
Is the law flexible in this matter? Is the law flexible?
Let me tell you, some lawyers bent on derailing from the real truth in this Nigeria. No more moral decadence any longer in the country, because the judiciary is supposed to be the life wire of every nation. But in this country today, go and check some element of laws and element of things they are doing in court of law. Cases that are supposed not to even last for 6 months, last for 10 years. So are you telling me they are doing well? Let me tell you, it's only God, supernatural, that can save this country from the mess. Military, politicians who are ingrate ones are put in this country. Let me take you back. Buhari, where were you?
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Other people. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. Go ahead.
Please, the chief over there, I appreciate you. And I'm in line with the last speaker. Honestly, I'm a youth. The way this country is going is affecting the youth. The future of Nigeria is in the country. Please, I'm suggesting, if the head of state can now tell the nation that what they did is to bring Nigeria back, please, I am of the opinion saying, if you know that this man won the election, I watched the son of Abiola in the screen. He's a matured man. Kindly the nation hand over to the son of that man, so that we can manage this people to appease the debt. So that what we are passing through on this nation is a terrible thing. Our leaders, they are not getting matters. For justice and equity, they should take the son of that man to compensate the family and Nigeria. So The candidate is there. You can align with the song of Abiola to manage this country so that we can justify what the head of state is telling the nation. Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. Yes.
So very good that somebody says something about. Let me tell you, interpretation of law. Falana cannot come to television and interpret law to us.
Why are you saying that?
Yes, why I'm saying is a senior advocate, subject to a interpretation, subject to a very good jurisdiction of court of law by a judge to interpret what he's saying. He, being senior advocate, he goes to court. He cannot tell me that every cases he wins in the court. He doesn't win all cases in the court, being a senior advocate. Senior advocate is just honor they're giving to him for maybe one thing or the other he has acted all throughout his career as a lawyer.
Okay, but why are you angry that they are giving the late chief MK?
No, I said I'm not angry. He's my friend.
But let's get this caller. Hello, good morning to you. Hello, good morning. Good morning to you. Okay,
I think that's it.
Yeah, we must be pragmatic in all our dealings. Because when you watch, last time I saw Keyamo, who is an activist like me,
he supported as well.
He has gone back to pick up a post as a spokesman of Buhari in the campaign. Would that be, as a senior advocate, would such a thing be allowed? And you say
if he believes in what the president is doing, won't he take appointment?
Totally, I'm absolutely angry here. It's what we call conflict of interest. If you're an activist and human rights, you should fight. I'm not rich, I'm not poor, but I remain. The spirit richness is what I count for as an activist. Not people that you are doing something just for you to be aiming at something. If Kemo want to run as a politician, he's allowed. As a lawyer, senior advocate, you go for a position, not going for being a spokesman. This man, when President Buhari has not been taken as a president, how many times does he fly to overseas for treatments?
Okay, we're going to get another caller's view. Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, my lady.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, this is Akwa Williams from Ujimeta.
Good morning. You're calling me your baby. I'm not your baby. Oh, please go ahead.
You are my lady. You are my lady.
Okay, go ahead.
Right. Look at it. I want to say that President Buhari is not sincere or very honest about this award. When Abacha was head of state, Buhari was here with him as the chairman of Petroleum Trust Fund.
Trust Fund, yes.
Again, there was a time Buhari was interviewed, and he said Abiola was the person who funded the coup against him. So, like, he didn't even like Abiola from day one. And when he took over in 2015, from there till today, he didn't think it necessary, whether in 2016, to declare June as Democracy Day, 2017, or to think it necessary to honor Abiola. It's only when you now see that you have few months to election. The guy, the president is not sincere about this award. And even if you look at the process, it's even being faulted. One, they are talking about the National Award, Honors Award, what it entails, and what process you go through. Has it been followed? And what can you change when the National Holidays Act is even talking about May 29 as Democracy Day, that's the National Honors Act? How can he now say, because he is president, but then he's changing it to June 12 on his own, without following the process of going to the National Assembly? So you check all these things out too. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I wanted to ask you the essence of May 29th and also looking at what June stands for. Maybe I should ask you that question.
Go ahead.
Are you saying that he shouldn't drop June 12?
Anything short of 29th May. It's an aberration.
Can't the law be amended?
Okay, if you want to amend the law, he wouldn't have made announcements. That's why I'm saying that he took it on the angle of getting good thing to be done for Abiola's family in the wrong way and the wrong step. There's no way you see a yam that you have already planted after growing during the harvest. You want to get out the whole yam. You stood up to start digging this yam. When the thing got broken and then you have to bend down again to bring the last one. That's exactly what it's doing.
Is this not what the people have been yearning for? When you look at the list of those,
it's not
this award will be given.
How many percentage of the people?
If you love that family too much,
check Abiola's empires and so on that has already been finished. From the time being, all these problems in the family has already erupted as a result of this annulment, as a result of the death of the MKO. May his blessed memory. As my friend, I still repeat it. I have nothing against giving him an award, do a postmortem or whatever in his this. But what I'm against is Buhari alone getting up overnight to do this announcement.
So is the process that you are against?
Exactly,
right now.
because if you have carried all Nigerians along and they are doing that, then that thing, nobody will blame each other. Because what we should do is buy votes. Should this? You remember there are a lot of people that fought for democracy and a lot of people that has already done this kind of. What of Shenikon? When this thing happened immediately, they took Shenikon and made it. Did you allow the Shenikon to work? Telephons. You put him out. Abacha took over. You understand? Then Abiola has already laid a landmark in the country. Whether they do postmortem award or whatever, the name is there. Clean. Who made that election not workable? Humphrey Mosu was given a house arrest. He was given house arrest as a result of
this. So they should have given all of these people. You are expecting them to give all of this. Well, let's get this scholar.
The sacrifices.
We'll come back.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
My contribution towards the Posthumous award is that Buhari is doing things since he took over in a malicious way.
You mean President Muhammad?
When he was PTS chairman under Abacha, did he advise Abacha to recognize Abiola's election? He did not do that. He was enjoying the show under Abacha. When they killed Abiola under Abacha, what was his comment? No, he was enjoying it. Now that it's about election time, he suddenly woke up and recognized Abiola that we should give him Posthumous award, playing to the gallery. Nigerians are not fools. We are wiser now. Abiola won election, they annulled it. He was there. No comments. He suddenly woke up and said, I want to posthumously reward Abiola. Fine and good. But he should stop doing things in a malicious way. He should come out right. Do things that Nigerians will see and applaud. You have given Abiola the highest award being given to a president.
I wanted to ask you a question.
Abiola has not taken oath of office to be a president.
Sadly.
Now, will his name be among ex-presidents in Nigeria?
Maybe that's what
there are salient questions need begging for answer. He should know all these things. Take advice. Set up committee. Review things before coming out to make pronouncement. He staged a coup and overthrew Shagari and the whoever, incarcerated them. Has he apologized as a Democrat? He has not done that.
Okay.
What I advise him is he should seek advice. Set up committees, review things, so that when you do things, the whole Nigeria will applaud you. That's my comment.
Thank you so much. But I must tell you that we have a committee that was set up in 2016 and 2017, and it was headed by the ex-CJN. We'll tell you more on that. We'll go on this break, and when we come back, SuperDawn will continue shortly. Please stay with us. Welcome back. We're still looking at the views, perspective of the posthumous, the word. Come to June 12th this month, and we have our guest in the studio, Doctor. We've talked about, before we went on that break, we were talking about the committee that was set up, and that's the former CJN, and he said he wasn't aware of this, that this is illegal. But some other persons have come to say the president has right to do what he did. But looking at all of these things, I really want to hear from you. Now that you know that some people have said he has right, and they are lawyers, and some other people are saying he doesn't have right. So it's pro anti-Buhari and for anti-Buhari.
Thank you very much. You see, to me, president has no right if he loves this country. A listening president is president that has rights. Not this time. Because President Buhari is still taking things as if he's still in military era. He's not in military era. The era he is in is where you do consultation and consult. Why? You have a president, Olusegun Obasanjo. He's a Yoruba man. He's from the western side. He finished first term 4 years. Ended another 4 years. He basically for third term, which was not given, and quashed by the Senate and the House of Reps members. But in as much as I know, Yar'Adua entered, become sick, died in the process, his blessed memory. Then President Jonathan took over again, finished his own. Does it mean that all these people, has Buhari gone to check the confirm? The confirm they had, the report of that confirm. Has he checked the report of this former justice? You understand?
That's what we're talking. Is the law
so
flexible?
Those states contain
legal practitioners giving us different views to this.
You can anything short of 29th May, Nigerians will be put into disarray. Let Buhari not cause war.
You mean president?
President Buhari, let him not bring war in this country. He has finished. Let him go with his pride, instead of coming to cause war for the youths.
But a lot of people applauded this. I told you earlier. A lot of people said this is a right step in the right direction.
A stage managed applaudment. Is a stage managed.
But Doctor, let me quickly ask you this now. Do you see any link with what the declaration as to the upcoming 2019 election?
Of course, yes.
So politics simply...
I'm not going to even say that because...
I'm going to allow you to continue. Let's get this caller.
We know.
Let's get this caller. You continue. Hello, good morning to you.
Okay, well, good morning.
Good morning to you.
And good morning to your guest and the rest of
Good morning, my brother.
I want to go straight to the point. If they want to reward anybody, it should be Fela for saying the truth. Because any good thing should go to the people that say the truth. Where is the foundation of corruption? Let us trace the history from Fela. Where is the corruption of disorganization in government? Let us trace it. If actually want to repay anybody, it should also pay Fela and pay. I suffer for June 12. I really suffer. I escaped death. I got a bullet injury on my head up to today, on June 12. And I want to tell you, and I'll show you one different thing. It's not Babangida that actually annulled the June 12. It is the law. The law is that no presidential candidate should carry any symbols of party or identification to the polling booth. That was what disqualified Abiola. So when the law was about to announce, this was brought before. So for that, they used that one to remove him, to cancel the issue. So people are talking on this one. And secondly, please, our government are able to do something that will bring peace. You see, a few days ago, the Afghanistan, they just announced ceasefire for 3 days, which is miraculous. That means the beginning of peace in the world. So Nigeria should look for all means to bring peace to the world so that peace will be in Nigeria. Otherwise, there will never be peace.
Is that why the president did what he did? Maybe conscience, maybe.
being sincere. He's not sincere himself at the beginning. He was against this June 12. And if you bring June 12, you're going to bring more division. Because the entire North, they don't like June 12. And it's like throwing a stone so that there will be confusion in a place. You see, like throwing a stone.
Okay, I wanted to ask you a question. I want you to finish up. If you're done, I want to ask a question. Okay. Why can't we just trust this president? Why is it difficult for people to trust his motives?
The president at the beginning.
I didn't hear you.
Say that this is not for him. He will is the younger when it was what? No? And it's not even hearing well. When he speaks, you know, watch on the television. You don't speak on
Okay, thank you so much for calling. Ayo, thank you for calling. Yes, you were saying something. Blessed asked a question. Yeah. Is it connected to 2019?
It's quite obvious. Perhaps he believed strongly that this is only way and only thing that he can be able to use to induce the Westerners. But I believe he has not even known his fate.
But sincerely, can't we trust Mr. President? Why are we not trusting Mr. President?
Why can I trust him?
Why can't you?
I cannot trust him because I've been issued. Since inception of his emergence as a president of this country, he has not shown what it takes for me to continue to believe him. I came in on air even when he emerges many times, but up till now we're still having problems. You understand?
Okay, is that why you can't even trust him?
I cannot trust him because he's fighting corruption in a danger way.
Yeah, sorry, my name is Dr. Williams again.
Okay, go ahead.
See, for me, I still see President Buhari as a dictator. And that's why he can do what he has done now without even consulting the people. And that was why the former CJM Begore said, this is illegal, this is unconstitutional. And why am I saying this? Look at the Chicago issue that he just released almost $500 million without going through the National Assembly. And he's saying because of the exigency of time and because of emergency, a Chicago that will get in 2020, and it did not go to the National Assembly. Look at the case of El Zakizaki, almost 3 years now. He has used to take him to court. He is holding him because he feels he can hold him under a democracy. Look at the case of Dasuki. Okay? And the God said, even the everyone God said to this guy, if you don't have anything, and even awarded 15 million against the government, he's still holding him. So he has always been doing things in his own way. Not even the amendment that we are in a democracy. And if some people now benefit from this kind of thing, they will tell you that it's in order. And that's why we are seeing this argument that what he has done is in order. No, it's not in order for God. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Doctor, let me quickly ask you, with all the criticism and commendations coming from different quarters, now, do you think now with this declaration and the posthumous award approved by the president now, do you think it has any way of impacting our growing democracy?
It has nothing at all to impact. If Buhari like, President Buhari, if he likes, let him give 1 week public holiday. He can never enter that seat again. God has decided. Okay. And I know that. Because if you check the system that he uses in his administration, it's even worse than dictatorship. It's worse than dictatorship. You will discuss, you have your adjutants, ministers, aides, and so on. Do you believe that Buhari can get up overnight and then do something without even consulting anybody? Check the killings in his regime and believing that the killings has risen over 60% comparing to all other presidents that have ruled this country. So what are we talking about? Whom are you trying to appease? It's not going to appease me. I'm well educated. It's not going to appease me. He can only appease those, maybe his gladiators, not me. I'm a human rights fighter. And up to today, I keep remaining as a human. Even during Abiola doing all those, I keep fighting.
Are you saying if he had mentioned Henry Wosu, you'll be saying the same thing?
Who? Not Henry Wosu.
Humphrey Wosu, yes.
Humphrey Wosu is even the major person.
If he had mentioned his name,
no, let him not even mentioning name. I say keep aside their word. Bring Humphrey Wosu and the INEC chair then
to give us the results.
Yes, as INEC chair then. Bring all the whole people who conducted that exercise. Bring them. This is how we normally say it in Igbo land. If you miss to use meat, that is, if you misuse meat, that is one, you might use something bigger than meat. That is what I'm saying. You see, Humphrey Wosu was given house arrest. House arrest. Where was Buhari then? Where was he? Where is he alive then? Because he's enjoying power then. Is it now you are realizing that, oh, you made a mistake? Let Buhari come open and apologize to Nigeria.
But people have said this is action of a Democrat.
No, he has to come first. Apologize to Nigeria before even doing that he has done. We are talking of the ones you have done. You are doing more. Buhari has caused this. In fact, if the country has gone down, Buhari contributed 30%.
Okay, that's your thoughts. Then, President Muhammad Buhari, people had called him a Democrat. But I don't know why yours is different.
It's undemocratic.
Okay, but I'm going to read what
Obasanjo was given opportunity. Listen, Obasanjo was given opportunity based on MK Abiola's annulment. That was one of the one of the criteria. You understand? Despite the odds we have there, but one of the fundamental criteria and prerequisite was annulment of June 12th. You let us zone to Western Zone, so that it be able let the cleanup of this eagerness to they have wronged us. Let that be.
We're going to wrap up now.
So Obasanjo has taken that particular decision. But if you want to honor MKO in any way, I'm not against. But where I'm against is you never consulted anybody. The committee you set up, you never consulted them. You have not even gone to confirm, report to check what is there. Or put up you have not even checked what is there. You understand? The Senate, the House of Rep members, and all others Nigerians, you've not even consulted anybody. These are the people when you make this pronouncement, they will be happy. They will rejoice on what you have done. So,
but there's a part of the law that says he can use his initiative to give an award.
Which initiative?
But I'm going to read what the late MK Abiola said.
President, does he have initiative? And people are like, look at Benue killings, look at Taraba, look at a lot of killings everywhere. Look at the IG of police and the Senate. Look at what the rubbish and the kangarooic system they're using in rubbishing the chambers of the National Assembly. That ought to be our lawmaking body that is greater than any other, even including Buhari.
President Buhari. Well, Doctor, we are wrapping up. I'm going to read what the late MKO Abiola said in one of his quotes. Maybe that's why the president took this initiative. He says, only real democracy can move our nation forward towards progress and in her respect she deserves from international community. Late MKO Abiola. Is this not towards that end?
It is not.
Your final words. We must.
My final word is that let us watch and see 2019. Because a lot of people have planned to go out of this country if Buhari emerges again. And the Buhari will never emerge because even the one they gave him is out of, I don't know, the adjective to use. When you see, you said you are not corrupt. And they have played the clips of on the age that voted you in. If it's in a noble country and a civilized world, I will resign. If it's me, I've seen that video, I will put on my pen.
What if it's a photo shoot?
If It's shown many times.
Okay, but we must wrap up now. I want to thank Dr.
Show you that they are all corrupt.
I want to thank Dr. Chukwu Patrick, the Chairman International Freight Forwarders. Thank you so much for coming on this edition of the program. Tomorrow we're going to do a part 2 of the program where someone will be saying something differently from what you have said. Thank you so much for coming.
I'm glad to hear you.
Up next is SuperDawn Sports, and the Super Falcon will be meeting today, facing their Gambia counterpart today in our stadium. I'm talking about the Agege Stadium. Well, let's go on this break. SuperDawn Sports will continue.
SuperDawn, your daily live current affairs program.